Maybe.
Here comes the pitch. This one a fastball high for ball 2. 2-1 count with 2 outs. And none of these girls are wearing long sleeves, which is crazy to me. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like it's a chillier game. Cavegirls not electing to wear sleeves. Roswell has a couple girls with sleeves on.
Yeah.
But the wind's picking up a little bit more and more as time goes on, it feels like.
I think, too, you're thinking, okay, it's going to be warm. You don't really pay attention to the weather, and you don't even pack it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you show up, and you're like, dang it. Left it on the nightstand.
3-1 count, foul back, makes it a full count. And Aubrey Hernandez in a position here to end the inning if she makes the pitch she wants to make here. So can she do it? Alani Tarin at the plate, and that one's fouled straight back once again.
One more, babe, one more.
On deck for the Coyotes is number 1, Alexia Carrasco. All right, this one popped in.
She almost got
foul territory. And for a first baseman, like, you're typically used to the first baseman not being able to move a lot, if that makes sense. They're like a big target, or they're just kind of stuck there because they don't have a lot of range. In this case, it's a little different. Hanna Hernandez has some speed. Soccer player, it makes sense. Here's a hard hit ball in the left field. Oh, and just over the glove. And this one's going to score 2 and put Tarin on second base with a double. So really good hitting. And I mean, we talked about momentum carrying over from one game to the next. It looks like the very opposite is happening here tonight.
Well,
for the Coyotes.
But the Coyotes did score 2 runs in that last
That's
inning,
true.
too, so
that's true.
that gave them a little bit of momentum and a little confidence. And if she's getting the pitches a little bit more over the plate, maybe they're seeing the ball better.
So Aubrey Hernandez trying to stop the bleeding here. A fastball in the inner half for strike 2. 0-2 count with 2 outs. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by LA Services, LLC, and LA Safety and Consulting. Here comes the windup in the pitch. This one fouled straight back. So she's got the timing down. That's one of the big indications is when a ball's, we always talk about it. If you foul a ball straight back, you're on with the timing.
You're
if it's
off the angle.
Yeah, and if it's, opposite field, you're late. If you pull it, you're early. That's always been kind of like the way you look at it. And Aubrey Hernandez gets a strike 3 call on a high pitch there.
Yeah, I felt like it was high. But
so right there, strikeout number 2 for Aubrey Hernandez for out number 3. But not before Roswell could go ahead and get 4 runs across, 4-0 here early as the Cavegirls go in to try and find a way to respond. Tonight the NBA playoffs get started. Chicago Bulls, it might be over now. Chicago Bulls taking on the Miami Heat. And I forget who else. One of the big ones that everyone's going to be paying attention to, of course, is the Lakers versus the Nuggets. I'm calling an upset.
No,
you don't think it's going to happen?
No, I mean, I'd love to see it because I'm a big Lakers fan, but, Denver is just quietly such a good team. Like, nobody really knows about them. They almost think they're like...
Oh, everybody knows about them. Are you serious?
No, I mean, nobody really talks about them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess. You go to Sports Center, and they can win every single game, and they're still talking about the Lakers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's just crazy how that works out. But yeah, no, I would love to see it. In fact, I saw them talking about them losing the first playing game to get to the second playing game so they'd get to to play against the number 1 seed, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, yeah.
And because they beat them every single time they played them. But they haven't won one game against Denver Nuggets in the regular season.
Wow.
So I think it'll be a tough series for them to come out and win. But, I mean, they do have the tools. You know, if they play great basketball and they hit some threes, you know, I guess they've got a chance. But I would not call an upset on that.
It's hard to beat a LeBron James-led team every game in the regular season, and for them to be able to do that, I mean, that's
saying a lot.
Rough. It is saying a lot. So once again, the two to lead off the game for the Cavegirls, Vianka Villa and Parris Weldon, gonna start things off for the Cavegirls. Here comes the first pitch to Villa. This one low and away.
She's the only left-handed batter in this lineup.
Yeah, I think she is.
Kind of unusual because usually a lot of teams have a lot of left-handed batters.
Right.
Just to slap and stuff.
Here comes the pitch. This one nicely placed. Outer half. And you can see as a leadoff batter, a lot of them in kind of like the slapping motion. You start at the back of the box and then you move forward. She got hit right there. So Cavegirls start their offensive bid with a hit by pitch. So Vianka Villa is going to get on first base. No outs. Parris Weldon at the plate. Well, they're going to check on Villa. Looks like she's going to be okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's the only thing bad about a slapper that's going towards the pitcher is it's hard to get out of the way because you're moving and the ball's coming, you know what I mean? So it's not like you're standing there and you can just, you know, flinch and get back. You're going towards the ball and it's coming towards you. And then you're trying to, how do you get out of the way, you know what I mean, when you're moving. So
that is hard for sure. And there are times where you see a ball coming at you and you don't move out of the way because growing up you're kind of taught that. Like if a ball's coming at you, just take it. Don't be scared, whatever. But now they've made it to where they've changed it. Hey, you didn't make an attempt to get out of the way, stay right here. That's a ball.
Yeah.
And so it's such a different world in, you know, offensively when that kind of gets taken out.
Well, in the defense of the pitchers and the defense, I think, is the fact that you've got somebody that leans into it or says, you know what, that's inside pitch.
And it's hard to make it an umpire's discretion. Did he lean in or not? And there she got Parris Weldon gets hit by a pitch right there on the foot. She tried to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Still kind of clipped her. So it's going to be runners on first and second, nobody out. This is the sweet spot for the Cavegirls, exactly what they want.
Yeah, when you're down 4-0 in the first inning, this is a good way to get back in the game quick with no outs and 2 people on base.
So this one slapped over to the shortstop, and it looks like they're going to be.
Oh, I thought she made it.
So Villa was out by maybe, it was bang, bang.
Inches.
Inches for sure.
Brings up number 20, Kalion Fuentes.
So runners on first and second still. Parris Weldon leading the way over at second base. And Kalion Fuentes at the plate. She had a really good game last game. A home run to start things off offensively. And, of course, a solid performance in the pitcher's mound. In the circle. There you go.
10 strikeouts.
I always get caught up between those two. Yeah, 10 strikeouts. Well done. 1-1 count. Runners at first and second with 1 out. The pitch, this one high and away. Both runners will advance. That takes away the forced play, or the double play.
And puts them both in scoring position. I wonder if she got another yellow sticker for the 10 strikeouts.
I don't know.
Can you count them?
What happens if they get too many yellow stickers? Do they start going to the front?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good problem to have, I guess.
2-1 count, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. This one way low. And she lets that one go. So another hitter's count for Fuentes, and they put this over the plate. They could be regretting it, especially with runners at second and third. You got a runner. We got an open base. You're up by 4.
Ooh,
it's scary to do it, and there it is. Pop fly into center field. It's going to score at least 1. So they did risk it. They risked it with a really good pitch to Fuentes, and
Oh, yeah, she was only feet away from hitting it out of the park.
exactly. And if the wind had done what you said it was supposed to do,
No,
it had
left
it would
field.
have gone.
Left field, not center field.
Makayla
Left field.
Chester.
All right, so that's out number 2, and the Cave Girls plate 1. But a runner over at third base, so still a great opportunity and a great look for the Cave Girls. Aubrey Hernandez now up for the Cave Girls. Oh, I'm sorry, that's
was gonna
incorrect. That's Makayla Chester.
Yeah. They all kind of have that same batting stance. And Chester's just a sophomore. So it's another young one.
So Makayla Chester up to bat, 0-2 count, 2 outs. Runner in a great position to score. Any mistake could give her, could put the Cave Girls on the board once again. 4-1, Roswell leads. The pitch, this one fouled high and over the dugout, opposing team's dugout. So on deck for the Cave Girls is Allyson Madrid. Comes the pitch, this one fouled once again. So Roswell really not trying to waste any pitches or any time, just going right at batters. And this game for Roswell, they brought in pitcher Alani Tarin instead of Aragon from last game. The windup, the pitch. This one hit hard into center field. The line drive's going to get her an RBI and a single. So Chester comes up big in a much-needed spot with 2 outs. And Allyson Madrid comes up to bat with a runner on first base and 2 outs. So here's a fastball outside for ball 1. On deck for the Cave Girls is Hanna Hernandez.
Madrid's another young one. She's only a freshman.
Is she? So there's 2 freshmen in the starting lineup?
Yes.
That's
Well,
pretty
I don't-
impressive.
I don't know if Ortega's starting this game.
Okay,
because-
we'll have to see.
Yeah, because remember she was playing shortstop for Kalion.
Oh, that's right.
Out of play, heads up.
So I actually found out the details on Kalion's name origin, and it came from a mixture of her siblings' names. Her mom really liked the way that her two siblings' names sounded, and so she basically combined them, and that's how they got Kalion. Pretty cool story. All right, so there is a nice line drive into right center field. This is going to score a run all the way from first base. A solid triple for Allyson Madrid.
Yeah, that was
So
nice.
she comes in for her first AB of the series, and
No, she remember she.
Did she
pinch
get one?
hit.
Okay.
She pinch hit in the other game, but yeah, but that's a solid triple.
it definitely is.
Analicia Hernandez.
So an RBI triple for Allyson Madrid, and the Cave Girls have 3 now. Trying to even up the score. Hanna Hernandez at the plate. And a good hack. Fouled straight back for strike 1. So I also got some intel from the player herself, Karis Hernandez. She is rocking a eye black mustache and goatee, and I asked her what happened, and she said I lost in rock paper scissors, so I had to do it.
So they
And I
they
got
do
a
that-
huh?
So they have somebody do it every game.
I have no. I think it was just probably like a bet they made.
Oh, okay.
But I love that kind of like chemistry that a team can have, and that the fact that somebody actually goes and honors it is
Oh,
also
yeah.
really cool. I think it just makes the game fun, but it's also like there's professional photographers at almost every game these days. So you're going to come back and get pictures with that. It's going to be funny. Here's a pop fly into right field. This one comes down and is caught for out number 3. So the threat is over from the Cavegirls, but they're able to get 3 down.
Yeah, they got back in it pretty much, so that's pretty good.
So 4-3, Roswell Coyotes lead the Cavegirls in a windy, chilly evening here on a Friday night. All right, so the big emphasis here, obviously, for the Cavegirls, like it was in game 1, is defense. Putting up zeros, 5 straight innings in game 1. After the first inning, they allowed 1 run. That was a huge reason why you really put out the flame of Roswell, even with 2 runs scored in the final inning. But Roswell able to get hot here early and put up 4 runs. Hernandez getting loose, and she's going to remain in the game for the Cavegirls. But we talked about it earlier. Last year, loaded with Aragons. We had Jonna, Faith. No, it was just Jonna and Faith, right?
Yeah.
And then the year before that, it was Jonna, Faith, and Grace. And I think at one point, all 4.
Gabby was there too,
Yeah,
so yeah.
Gabby, Faith, Jonna, and Grace. And 3 of them, Jonna, Grace, and Faith, are all at UTEP playing softball there. And crazy thing about that, I think, is that Faith is a PO now. The best hitter in the state, now just a pitcher in college. Wild. So barehanded play by Aubrey Hernandez. The throw over, ran a little bit up the line, and it was trouble for on over at first base, and it's going to be an error for the Cavegirls.
Number 12, Yadira Aragon.
All right, Yadira Aragon at the plate now for Roswell.
Runner in advance.
And she was a starting pitcher last game. Game 2, she is not pitching. Here's a fastball outside for strike 1. So a 1-1 count. So the lights turning on for the Cavegirl field now. Here's a hard hit line drive over to third base. A nice play
Run number 1.
made by number 6, Makayla Chester, over at third base.
Brings up number
So
4,
things shifted for the Cavegirls in the infield. Kalion Fuentes left the circle, went to shortstop. Aubrey Hernandez left third base, went to the circle. And Makayla Chester
Was she in the outfield?
ended up at third base. Yes, she was in the outfield. So this one, ground ball over to second base, and Weldon fields it and gets it over to first for out number 2. So a 4-3 out number 2.
Brings up number 15, Alayna Tarin.
All right, so Aubrey Hernandez looking pretty solid here in the top of the second inning, trying to get this out from Alayna Tarin. A 1-1 count, 2 outs. This weekend is a Gus Macker tournament in Hobbs, New Mexico, starting, I think tonight is when they kind of get things started in some tournaments. Maybe over there it's just on Saturday. I think CARLSBAD started on Saturday. So here's another ground ball over to shortstop. Weldon makes a pretty solid backhanded play, but doesn't get it over to first in time, and Roswell able to plate another run.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Weldon. She went in the hole to get it and made a good play on it, but just barely didn't make it in time.
Number 11, Sarai Morales.
All right, here we go. Here comes a hard hit ball over to shortstop. Kalion Fuentes able to handle it for out number 3, and that was an important out right there. There's no doubt. All right, so after 1.5 frames, Roswell leads 5-3.
Which is pretty unusual. Last game, there was more zeros on there all over the place.
Yeah.
Except on our side, but now there's not 1-0 yet.
So we might be looking at a high-scoring game. Cavegirls obviously hoping that it is high-scoring on their end, and they can put a stop on the other side. 5 runs is a pretty solid number, especially in 2 innings, but much less a full 7-inning game.
Yeah.
So here to start things off for the Cavegirls is Karis Hernandez. And she's going to be followed by Katrina Ortega, who is in fact playing the outfield.
I guess she has that thing on her left leg for the ball hitting her.
Yeah.
There, but it looked like she had like a soft cast. That's what it
Oh,
looked like.
yeah,
When
I
I
see.
saw her, I thought, well, maybe she's just on deck, just because she wanted to get out there. I don't know. But then I'm like, wait, no, she is on deck.
All right, guys. This weekend, a tournament. I'm going to be in a golf tournament. The Potsy DOS, is that how you say it? The
Yeah.
Potsy DOS?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. I've heard the name, never played in it, so it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out, but a cool local event here in Carlsbad. Here's the first pitch, ground ball up the middle for out number 1.
At first, round number 1.
So quick work made here by Roswell.
Brings up number 1, Katrina Ortega.
Now up to bat the freshman, Katrina Ortega, number 1. So 1 out, nobody on. Ortega at the plate. Here comes the first pitch. This one hit hard
nice.
into center field. Is it going to get down? No.
That center fielder's
Caught.
made some good plays.
Yeah, she's got some range. There's no doubt about it. So in just 2 pitches, Cavegirls go down 1-2.
Brings up number 17, Vianka Villa.
And it brings up the top of the lineup. Vianka Villa got hit by a pitch in her first AB. That started a pretty solid inning for the Cavegirls with 3 runs scored. So 1-0 count. What do you prefer, a day game or a night game? What do you think?
I think
this one bounces off the turf for ball 2. 2-0 count. And I think these are my favorite uniforms for the Cavegirls. The gray unis with the blue pinstripes. It's just a good look. It's nice and simple. It's kind of old school looking. And I'm always down for the pinstripes.
See, and I have to see all of the uniforms before I can make that determination. I really like white uniforms, so I think the white is going to always look better because the gray blends in with the blue, like you don't get the standout. But I'm not gonna argue.
I just like gray because it's not seen as much. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that's where I like that. But regardless, that's a pop fly over to first base for out number 2. So now to bat, Hanna Hernandez. So I know Hernandez batted in the first inning. She was the third out of the inning, but I didn't catch what
had happened there. So we'll have to see. We'll have to find that out here soon. Here's the 1-0 count. This one flown over into left center field, just in the perfect spot, and that's going to be a single for the season.
Going to bring up number 8, Karis Hernandez.
And I double on that one that remember dropped between the shortstop and the center field.
Oh, yeah.
Almost the same situation.
And that's something that the Cavegirls definitely have that we spoke about with the Cavemen as well. It's like the year of speed for Carlsbad High when it comes to baseball and softball. They have players that can move all across the board. Their rosters aren't going to clog up the bases at all. You're going to get girls that can move. Karis Hernandez up to bat. In the second inning, she grounded out to the pitcher. The 0-1 count with 2 outs. This one, a nice pitch over the middle for strike 2.
So here in the bottom of the third inning, the Cavegirls are down 5-4 to the Roswell Coyotes as Karis Hernandez watches the third strike for out number 3. All right, so coming on into the top of the fourth inning, the Coyotes are going to start out with their 9-hole batter, Mireya Patino, and then followed by Yadira Aragon, and then Lauren Lucero. A little bit of, what is this called? It's Mambo number 5, but who's?
Lou Bega.
Lou Bega. Whoa, that's an old song. When do you think this came out? Probably 2002?
I don't know if it, maybe even before
Was
that.
it 99?
It was like 98, 90.
Whoa.
Because I know we played it for several weddings, and it's like a good song to get people out there.
It was
for
on
weddings.
mini discs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Back in the day.
So we actually DJ'd, All Sports Best, DJ'd the 8th grade formal last night over at PR Leyva, and it was a pretty good time. You know, you always get different groups. This group was a pretty fun group. They showed up. There were some guys that were dressed in full-on tuxedos. I mean, we saw some kids looking slick. They really went all out, and it was really cool. It was like a black, a black light theme where everything had black lights.
Neon.
And so neon. Yeah, exactly. So it was really cool. And then, of course, there's girls that are there wearing heels and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's just a really cool event. Something that I want to say they started maybe like 5 years ago.
I don't know. No, I think it's
been longer than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember when you guys used to do, Gus Macker, they would ask us to do it, but we couldn't do it because we were over there. It was the Gus Macker football one, but it was, you know what I mean?
I guess bike it.
Yeah.
All right, so Mireya Patino up to bat for the Coyotes, and this one going to be fouled back for strike 2, so an 0-2 count here to the leadoff batter of the inning. And, you know, it's funny because when do you ever see two teams play against each other with essentially the same base color on? They got the dark gray for Roswell, and then you got the light gray for the Cavegirls. I just feel like that never really happens.
At first, round number 1.
And I never As a baseball player, you just don't ever see teams wear gray at home. Never. So it's just different, I guess.
Yeah.
But the Cavegirls have an all-white uniform, I think, a blue and white, or in a blue and blue.
I'm not sure.
Remember they used to have blue and blue. They used to have the blue pants forever with like Aztec siding.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a base hit. Just punched it in the right spot.
So a base hit for their first, or their leadoff batter, Yadira Aragon. So 2-hole batter now up to bat. Lauren Lucero. She had a single and a run scored in the first inning. And in the second inning, she grounded to the second baseman. Here's a ground ball up the middle. And she turns and throws it over to first base. Do you think there was a chance for the double play?
Definitely. No, not a double play.
Just the lead runner.
Yeah,
okay.
the lead runner, yeah. I feel like for sure she picked it up and just went to first right away without at least turning and going, you know what, she's halfway. I got a strong enough arm, I can get her at second. Because it's just always better to get the leadoff runner. I mean, the lead runner, because of the fact that now she's in scoring position.
Sure.
And there's no force.
2 outs, runner on second base. Number 15, Alayna Tarin up to bat. Tarin had a double in the first inning to score 2 runs. So she has been a threat all night long against the Cavegirls. Feeling comfortable here in Carlsbad. So Caitlin Clark signed a $20 million contract with Nike. Pretty incredible. Here's a ground ball up the middle and no running from Tarin. I don't know if she's hurt. Oh, no, seemed like she was fine running to second base, but she was just kind of like waddling over to first. It looked like she had twisted something or pulled a hamstring, and then all of a sudden a burst of speed from first to second somehow. So I don't know what that was. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, she was faking it. Yeah, I also saw where Tim McGraw was playing at a concert, and he was wearing a Caitlin Clark jersey.
I did see that.
So
I don't know. He must have gotten his hands on it before they sold out. The 0-1 count with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. This one hit hard, and
nice
Parris
play.
Weldon catches this one, snags it out of the air. A huge play for the Cavegirls. That would have scored 2 without question.
Yeah, for sure.
So a line drive out over at second base. Weldon saves 2 runs, and the Cavegirls can use that to fuel them into the next inning if possible. The Cavegirls want to see themselves come back, obviously, and score. What do you say would be a number that makes you feel a little bit like now you're really in the driver's seat? I don't think a 1-run lead is a driver's seat at all.
I'd say score 3 runs this inning and just put yourself back to where you've got the momentum, and you put 2 zeros on the board for them
right.
the last 2 innings, so then you kind of stop their momentum and get yours going. That's my thing. My question to you is, if you're Caitlin Clark, how many jerseys do you have just to give to friends or people? Or do you think that she just says, you know what, go buy it?
No, I think, yeah, that's a good question. I think that you probably say, hey, give me 50 of them.
You think 50?
I don't know. What do you think?
I would say like 10, because I don't know.
You're worth probably $40 million a year now because you're the best of the best. 50 jerseys is nothing to those companies that are going to rake it in.
That's true, but still, I feel like.
What do you think? Like 5, and you just, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he made her the woman she is.
Maybe. Here's a pop fly over to center field for out number 1 on 1 pitch. That was Katrina Ortega. Her second fly out to center field is out number 1 to start off the bottom of the 4th inning.
Brings up number 17, Vianka Villa.
All right, here for the 3rd time tonight, we've got Vianka Villa up at the plate. She's reached base both times tonight. She had a hit by pitch in the 1st inning and then a bunted single in the 2nd inning. So there's no question that she has speed, and she does use it.
She's got speed, and she's not afraid to use it?
No, not at all. 1-0 count. The pitch, this one low, way low. Makes it a 2-0.
I feel like that wind hasn't eased up. Look, that flag's still going strong.
It is, yeah. All right, so the windup again, and the pitch. This one a high fastball in the outer half for strike one, swinging by Villa. So DeMarini is her bat of choice, but I've seen some bats that I don't know their brand.
Oh,
like
really?
I don't know some of these brands. I think this one on deck with Parris Weldon is like a backlash or something. Not really sure, but here's a fly ball
That might be
into
dropping.
shallow left
Oh,
center.
nice
Oh,
catch.
and nice play by the center fielder for the Coyotes, and she has been their defensive
She's
MVP tonight,
for sure.
no doubt about it.
What's crazy is, was she playing right behind the shortstop? Because there's no way.
She was
in her
playing
center-
really shallow, I know that.
Yeah, but could you imagine if she's in a regular spot? That's a long run for her to go. She went a lot further than maybe the second baseman would have gone to get that. To see where she's at now, there's no way. It was hit about, what, 20 feet behind the shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, it was in no man's land typically, but they made the adjustment there.
Yeah.
They did a little scouting for sure. So here's Parris Weldon up to bat. Looks like it came off of her foot.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the most annoying pains in this sport. You hit the ball off of your foot, or you get a stinger on your hand, like it touches your finger or something and pinches you against the bat. Oh, it's the worst. 0-1 count. This one way off the mark. Hits the backstop, and Weldon with a little bit of a limp here out of the box. One count, 2 outs, nobody on, and Cavegirls still trailing the Coyotes as that pitch catches the plate. 1-2 count, 2 outs. This pitch low, and I have seen Weldon go to her chest a few times tonight, just kind of like, oh, it looks like she's saying my bad, but I don't know if that's what she's trying to say or if it's just something that kind of like helps her reset or what it is. I'll have to find out.
Do you have her in class?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't have her like as a, so there's a DSS program at the high
okay.
school, and so kids actually work for different teachers and programs to help them out, and so she's in that. I just oversee it. So
Yeah. Well, then you can find out for sure.
So there is a base on balls for Parris Weldon, so she worked the count back into her favor and reaches first base safely. Faith Rivera now up to bat for the Cavegirls. She is 0 for 2 on the night so far. This one a fastball low and away. The 1-0 count with 2 outs. The windup, the pitch, a swing and a miss. 1-1 count. It is a pretty nice night out here in Carlsbad, New Mexico, as we get set up for the weekend. Here's a ground ball over to the shortstop. No chance at second base. With the throw to first base is on time for out number 3. So the Cavegirls not able to do a whole lot. Parris Weldon reaches first base on a walk. And as a matter of fact, I was just looking at it. Parris Weldon has not had an official scorebook plate appearance. She has a hit by pitch and 2 walks. So hasn't recorded a plate appearance, right? Is that what you say?
Yeah, she's still 0 for 0.
0 for 0. All right, so after 4 complete innings, the Cavegirls trail 5-4 and have held the Coyotes from scoring in the past 2 innings, the 3rd and the 4th inning. Looking to do the same thing here in the 5th as they stick with Aubrey Hernandez on the mound. So the Cavegirls have 2 good pitching options for sure, and a young pitching option that has done well also in Ortega. So it's kind of cool to see, like, okay, you can work in a freshman here and there, get her experience, make sure that she kind of gets the feel, because it is a different ball game, a different animal completely from JV to varsity, from any other league to varsity sports. It's a different animal. We've seen a huge shift whenever you see a guy get pulled up to the major leagues. We saw Jackson Holiday get pulled up. I want to say he's like 1 for 25 right now for the Orioles, and he's the #1 prospect in the world. So it's just crazy to see that. As soon as they get adjusted, it's just like anything else. I think Katrina Ortega is well on her way to becoming a huge cornerstone for this team. Cornerstone, is that what you would say?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to use more words for our viewers back at home.
For your listeners?
For our listeners, that's right. All right, tonight's broadcast brought to you by LA Services LLC. Transportation services available 24/7. They've got limos, they've got shuttles, and they have the, what do we say the buses are?
Charter
buses as well. So LA Services LLC for your transportation needs. 1-0 count. Nobody out, nobody on. Here comes the pitch. This one
that came
low and inside, and she dodged out of the way of that one. This one, this time Bella Ornelas up to bat, and she jumped out of the way, or she'd be on first base, and Cavegirls would be building up from there. So Hernandez is going to try and take advantage after an escaped opportunity for Roswell to reach first base again. 2-1 count. No outs, nobody on.
You know we're supposed to get some rain in the morning, right?
Oh, I'm really hoping not.
Yeah, I know.
Here's a hard hit ball in the left field. Is it going to go? Nope.
Oh, no.
Kareem's off of the fence, and a double here for Bella Ornelas. Hard hit ball. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the night.
Well, besides Kalion's home run.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but for them, for sure.
For the concession stand, they've got to start making burgers for the girls.
Bella Ornelas just got her first double of the night. And I'm trying to look at it right here. That is her second hit of the day for sure. So here is a play for first base. A nice play by the catcher for the Cavegirls.
And a nice play by the first baseman because the throw was kind of up the line to where the base runner was almost in the way.
So Faith Rivera makes a nice play there and gets out #1.
These umpires are talking about something. You think there was some kind of
the only thing
some kind or something?
The only thing I could think of is that maybe a girl got in the way of the runner that's now at third. Yeah, because there's nothing I saw here.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter. Unless they give her home. Oh, they made her go back.
Ooh, what was that?
She must have done something.
You think?
Yeah, that makes no sense, huh? Yeah, we need a mic. We need to have the umpires mic'd up so they can tell us.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think of what the only thing could have happened. They left early. That's what it was.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I mean?
That was
before they released the ball, then they determined that they did that.
That's tough.
It's not.
I feel like it's tough as an umpire. What's that?
It's a rule.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's tough as an umpire to really monitor that unless they leave 2 steps early. You know, it's always kind of bang, bang. As soon as it's almost by discretion. You saw right there, her first step might not be off of the bag. It might be from the bag to the turf, if that makes sense. They keep both feet on the bag. So the first step to me looks like they're leaving. So in my mind, I'd be like, oh, they left early. It would take a while to get adjusted to that. I think it's a tougher thing to have to keep in the back of your mind, especially as a home plate umpire when you're looking for that pitch. And I don't think that's her job necessarily, but when there's 2 runners on, it puts a lot of pressure on the second umpire.
Yeah.
1-1 count, 1 out, runner on second base. That runner is Bella Ornelas. Now up to bat for the Coyotes, Alani Tarin. Ooh, and a very short check swing foul ball. So Aubrey sent a barrel seeker right there and just grazed the barrel for strike 2. 1-2 count.
One more, babe.
The windup and the pitch. This one, a nice changeup, swung on and missed for strike 2. That one caught her off guard. Definitely was geared up for a fastball there.
Yeah, and I feel like she hasn't thrown that many of them, so it caught me off guard. And I'm not even batting.
Yeah, I was wondering why you almost fell out of your chair. That was weird.
I was on my front foot.
Alexia Carrasco now up to bat for the Coyotes. She's 0-2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center field. The 1-0 count with 2 outs in runners and a runner in scoring position over at second base. The windup, the pitch. This one in for a strike. So Alexis Carrasco here to try and add another insurance run for Roswell. Can Aubrey Hernandez keep her from doing that? Here with a 2-1 count. You know, I don't really notice chants anymore. They don't really happen anymore. It's crazy. Here's a pop fly into shallow right center. It felt like a lot of coasting going on down to the ball. No sprints going on, no communication.
I feel like either coasting or possibly not seeing it. You know what I mean? Because
really,
yeah, because how else could they all stopped feet from it? It wasn't like they were right there close. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
they just didn't get there. I feel like they were just kind of like, oh wait, it just dropped in front of what, 2 of them?
You know what's most crazy about that situation to me is that the run didn't score.
Yeah.
Like, how does the run not score? The ball's in the air for like
2 out,
20 seconds. As soon as the ball comes off the bat, she should be sprinting, but it feels like she was just kind of looking to the next base.
No, you know what she was doing?
What a weird thing.
She was proving a point to the umpire, like, look, I'm not going to leave till the ball hits the ground, and then I'm going to leave. So
and then I'm going to test it.
So you can't say I left early.
Mireya Patino up to bat, the 9-hole batter for the Coyotes. She's the 9-hole batter and the weakest link in the batter's box, but she is definitely the strongest fielder for the Coyotes.
Oh, yeah.
She's the center fielder that has been unbelievable all over the outfield.
Yeah, she's money for sure.
1-1, 2 outs. And maybe not the weakest link. She's the 9-hole batter. That's on me.
I was going to say, you might
didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah. I saw a couple of 0.77s.
But I will say this. I have seen some teams, the Cavemen actually did it a few times this year, where they put a batter in the 9-hole spot that's actually hot. And they make them basically the second leadoff batter whenever it gets to that point in the lineup. Now, as a batter, you don't want to be the 9-hole that's the second leadoff because it's like I get the concept, but it feels different. But at the same time, if it's going to help your team win, doesn't really matter.
As a coach, you're telling them that that's the second leadoff, but
if they're killing it, then yeah.
As a player, you're thinking, there's no way I'm getting way less at bats, and I'm in the 9-hole.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
So how do you mentally make me sound like I'm doing great?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I was the coach for Roswell, I'd be like, hey, you're batting 9-hole, but we need you all over the entire field, so you'll be fine.
Anything you can get to it. We'll make sure call everybody off.
And there she goes with a walk over to first base. So you got lots of speed all around the bags for Roswell.
So we got the leadoff batter, so that's a tough situation because usually the leadoff batter is one of your best
tougher
hitters for
hit.
sure.
Yeah. And let's look at it, actually. Yadira Aragon. So here's a ground ball foul, but today she's had a pretty decent day, at least in this game. It says she got an E5, an error, error on the third baseman, and then she grounded out to Parris over at second base and had a single in her last at bat. And in game 1, she had 2 walks. That's how she reached base. So she hasn't put a lot of She hasn't gotten but one single, so that's at least something that's a plus for the Cave Girls.
Yeah, but you know what they say, you're
But it
due.
doesn't. Yeah, I know exactly. It's like, but it doesn't matter except for this at bat right now.
Right, with bases loaded.
Here's the 0-2 count from Hernandez.
Oh, good.
Hit back up to Hernandez. She like just tosses it over to her sister at first base for out number 3.
And she looked so relieved when she pulled off the mask.
So the big threat is over after a bases loaded 2-out situation there at the top of this 5th inning. Now going to the bottom of the 5th, Cave Girls going to try and use that to their advantage. You come out of a high-pressure situation, and you've got your number 1 batter up at the plate, Kalion Fuentes, followed by Makayla Chester and Allyson Madrid. Pretty strong part of the lineup to mess with if you are the Cave Girls. So I guess they're cooking burgers for the girls after the game. I don't know if it's for both teams or if it's just for the Cave Girls. I'd imagine it would just be for the Cave Girls, but usually they do cook, like they do cook out for the other team when there's a tournament, but when a typical doubleheader, not usually the case. I don't know. Did you hear anything about it?
No, I feel like the visiting team will go to McAllister's or something. I feel like McAllister's for Roswell because for some reason they don't have McAllister's in Roswell.
That is weird.
They have a Firehouse Subs, but it's never open.
It's never happening, ever.
No.
They got this. They bought the sign. That's what they did.
They've got the building and the sign.
Yeah.
And maybe even everything inside it, but it's never open. So.
The website might be built. We don't know.
Maybe that's what they're waiting on. The grand opening, they haven't set a date. And for those of you that don't know, Firehouse Subs has got really, really good subs.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by LA Services, LLC, and LA Safety and Consulting. Here's a first pitch swing and a foul ball pop up caught for out number 1. So Roswell escapes that one from Fuentes. Kind of a relief there for them, I'm sure, after she had a triple in the 3rd inning. Now up to bat, Makayla Chester. Comes the windup and the pitch. This one a low pitch for ball 1. The windup and the pitch. This one fouled off into the parking lot. It still blows my mind. I know it's something that's been going on for a long time. I don't know how long, probably 80 years, where you can tell the forecast. It's maybe going to rain tomorrow. It's going to be cold tomorrow. That still blows my mind that you can know what.
Well, to me, I don't
our
think
everyday
it blows
lives.
my mind for tomorrow. It blows my mind when you can do it for 10 days. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
right.
oh, yeah, 10 days from now, we're going to get snow. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And
Yeah.
they're going, golly, they can tell that far in advance. You know, but it is, it's kind of cool.
It is. Here's a hard hit ball up the middle for a single from Makayla Chester. And she's had a good game so far, 2 for 3 on the night.
Brings up number 9, Allyson Madrid.
Now up to bat number 9, Allyson Madrid. She had a triple in the 1st inning and scored a couple of runs with that triple. Well, the first pitch, this one popped up into shallow right field. It's caught
Fly out to right for out number 2.
for out 2. And it's going to bring up Anna Hernandez.
Analicia Hernandez.
I got to say, I got to give a shout out to Brandon Rhodes that's announcing tonight. He's done announcements for the Cavemen and the Cave Girls. He's at almost every game. Does a really good job.
Yeah, he does.
And it's always kind of cool because if let's say he stayed for 2, 3, 4 years, a lot of the kids that just come to the games, that's like ingrained in their mind. You know what I mean? I remember some of the voices that, like, I don't remember them specifically like now, but I remember that there would always be like a comfort in hearing those voices. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but growing up, it's just like something you get used to. It's kind of cool.
You're talking about like Vin Scully. You remember when he used to announce your game?
Imagine. All right. Fastball high for ball 2. 2-1 count, 2 outs.
Well, they got to get something rolling because it's getting late. What are we in, the bottom of the 5th?
Bottom of the 5th inning.
What blows my mind, too, on the scoreboard is how they go to the 7th inning. Instead of having, like, a couple of extra innings.
Oh,
you
I know.
What I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, now we don't know what's going on. It's tied, but,
Well, baseball goes, 10 innings on the scoreboards?
I think so, something like that.
So 1 extra inning from a normal game.
No, but in the high school?
Well, no, but not in
Yeah.
high school. But, I mean, the scoreboards aren't made for high school, I don't think.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true. Well, this one is.
This one is, there's for sure. As a matter of fact, I did notice one thing that happened right before the season started, that they had taped it all up and they had painted it. So that's why it is all nice and new-looking blue paint up on there. And I'm guessing they replaced all the, signs that say, Carlsbad High School, strike
All
out.
the letters and stuff.
Right?
They probably
you
use
probably
CAD
can't
cut.
tape all that
That's probably
over.
CAD cut, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Oh, yeah. All right, so base on balls for Anna Hernandez. She reaches base once again. So she's had a pretty solid game, I believe. 2 for 2. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. This one grounded over to the pitcher for out number 3.
Well, they got out of that inning with a couple of runners on, so.
That's right. So going into the top of the 6th inning, not a lot happening on either side offensively. This has become a defensive game after it was a very much so an offensive game to start this
Onslaught,
thing
yeah.
off. I feel like one of the things that sparks the Cavegirls more than anything else is when another team scores good in an inning. In inning number 1 in game 1, Roswell scored 1, and so we were like, okay, cool, we'll go score 2. They scored 4 in the first inning this game. We went out and scored 3. We just have a way of responding, but the Cavegirls just needing a little something to get around the bases. After the third inning performance. Gangnam Style. I haven't heard this song in a long
Remember
time.
how big that was?
It was big. I think it had the most viewed music video of all time on YouTube for 2 years, something crazy.
What's insane, too, is we may never hear that guy's music ever again. You know what I
No,
mean?
yeah, we might not, and we might not even, and we'll never understand it or know what he's saying.
No, all we know is Gangnam Style. There it goes.
All right. All right, so, guys, tonight's broadcast brought to you by LA Services, LLC. Some of the things that they have available is 56 passenger motor coaches, 30 passenger shuttles, 16 passenger vans. I didn't know they had 16 passenger vans available. And mechanic servicing truck, plus so much more. So if you need to rent a vehicle for a big trip or, of course, hire a bus, call LA Services, LLC. 2 balls to start off the inning.
We were talking about the NBA playoffs, and I think that the Chicago Bulls could upset the Miami Heat because
Really,
Jimmy
the Heat are destroying them tonight.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say Jimmy Butler got hurt. I don't know if he's out for the series or not, but it sounds like he might be back in.
No, he's not. He's out. He tore his MCL, I think, or at least strained it. 2-1 count here to the 2-hole batter for Roswell, Lauren Lucero, number 4.
So maybe he was holding him back.
Maybe. Comes the pitch. This one,
Ooh, that's a tough one because it went
a
right
bouncer
over
up the middle, and yep, that's going to be out of a little bit too far out to get turned around and make that play. You've got to have a 100-mile-an-hour arm, and you can't even take it out of your glove. It's just got to somehow transfer from your glove to the. That's the only way you can make that play.
Barehand it and
Yeah.
throw it in the air. when
Yeah.
you're
In
in.
other words, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had seen a story. I think it was a couple nights before Jimmy Butler got hurt, but he was super mad at Tyler Hero. He shot 27 shots. He went 9 for 27. He scored 25 points, whatever. They ended up losing the game, and he was just chanting at him, 9 for 27, 9 for 27, 9 for. Apparently, Tyler Hero got so upset he swung at him and missed, and then Jimmy Butler, super witty, said, 9 for 28. I was like, dang, that's super fast on the spot. Here's a hard hit.
Oh, that was a nice
single between the shortstop and third baseman. That's going to put 2 runners on with no outs for the Cave Girls.
Morales.
They might be going to get another pitcher. I feel like they don't normally go to the umpire right away. They go and talk to the pitcher first, but maybe they had talked to her like, hey, if things don't work out, we're going to.
Yeah, and Hernandez looks pretty upset, but
Yeah.
she'll probably be right out there here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
So Kalion Fuentes is going to take over in the circle to pitch for the Cave Girls as Coach Santo came out and made the change.
Don't they normally like go talk to the
Oh,
they
yeah.
go to the pitcher and go, hey, we're going to go ahead and take you out, and then they, kind of stand there by them while they warm up and stuff. So it's and
Yeah.
maybe it's different in softball, but I feel like that's unusual. But I mean, I understand the change just because it's like, you know what, we can't afford to let them score any more runs. As of late, we haven't done much offensive stuff. It's funny she's getting his attention to make the change, but they already know. You know what I mean? I guess maybe there's other changes though too, like Aubrey going back to third.
All right, so with runners on first and second, Kalion Fuentes is going to come in, try and shut things down and give the Cave Girls their best possible opportunity to get back into this thing. I mean, they're in this thing, but to get this lead.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I heard that story. I thought it was pretty funny, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard all the stuff going on in pop culture, though. There's a big rap disruption with a bunch of diss songs coming out here and there. Have you heard about these? Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, all kind of going at it. A lot of rappers actually joining in. Rick Ross is involved. There's a bunch of well-known rappers that are just kind of going at each other's throats. And to me, I know it's like, for them it might be heated and whatever, but as a consumer and as a listener, this is like the best way you get the best raps. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
You remember Tupac and Biggie
stories.
when they didn't like each other? I mean, they got some really good songs.
And all of
walk-up songs.
And all the straight out of Compton stuff. Remember when they were going through
when
all
they're
that
mad,
stuff?
they make some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll catch some good stuff. Some hype songs will come out of this without a doubt. 0-1 count. Runners on first and second. Kalion Fuentes now in the circle. This one a fastball off the plate for ball 1.
I don't think they put Hernandez back in. I think because I heard him say they took the DH out, and I don't see her at third. So.
All right, this one hit hard, and that one is a foul ball. Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard.
That's tough, especially when it's like a momentum getter right there. So Cave Girls luck out here with a foul ball. That was hit hard.
I didn't hear one fan from Roswell, and they could see down that third baseline.
Yeah, so it must have been real.
It must have been okay because.
Or they're just not paying attention.
Yeah, they're on their phone.
Yeah. 1-2 count.
They're listening to our broadcast.
No outs. This one hit hard.
That's a better
and
hit.
Right off, bounces off the outfield, left field wall. 2 runs are going to score. A third run going to get caught up between the 2 bases, and a bad throw over to second base is going to score a third run. This is not what the Cave Girls had hoped when they made the pitching change. Just a couple of tough
Pitches
breaks.
ago. Yeah. No, that's definitely tough. And on that throw, you never throw behind her like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Run at her, make her go back towards second, and then throw. But she just kind of threw out of, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get her, and made a bad throw. So yeah, that's a tough deal to get that third run in. But yeah, just that hit was another solid hit. So we dug ourselves in a little bit bigger hole. Now down 8-4.
Bella Ornelas now up to bat for Roswell with an 0-1 count. Fuentes adding a little more heat to it as she gets more loose throughout the last couple of pitches. The 0-2 count with no outs, nobody on.
I think that's another tough job to do, is be at shortstop and then come in and just get a few warm-up pitches, you know what I mean, and then expect to just be at your best right off the bat.
All right, so now we're getting some chance. As I was going to say earlier, we had Aubrey Hernandez and Anna Hernandez on the podcast. Both dual sport athletes. Here's a pop fly in foul territory. This one's a tough one to catch, especially like that, and it's going to be just another opportunity for Roswell. But one of the things that I had asked, I was like, what are some of the chants that you guys use in the dugout? And they're like, we don't really do chants anymore. And I'm like, that is so weird, because I'm so, even at the high school level, you used to hear it quite a bit, where you'd come up with a little something, maybe not as like colorful and funny as, you know, whenever you're younger, but they'd have certain things that they would say, and now it's just kind of like anything else. Come on, let's go, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. I just always felt like that was another energy bringer. I don't know if they do it in college or not, but
Well, you were at a college game the other day. So.
I didn't hear any chants, so yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe it's gone completely. Is it gone from the little girls?
I don't know. 'Cause
League too?
They just chanted right there a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's in there. Maybe it's still alive.
We'll have to ask Sage. We'll get Sage on the show.
Yeah,
See
for
if
sure.
she does any chanting.
So 1 out down for the Cavegirls now. 8-4, the Coyotes lead. All right, here comes the pitch. And Fuentes adds a little extra heat to that one. A little mustard, as you might say.
Yeah.
I wonder where that saying come from. Did we ever find that out? Where do we say mustard equals hard throws?
Yeah.
Here comes the pitch again. This one, a soft pop fly over to shortstop, caught by Ortega for out number 2.
Yeah, I was watching, reading something on social media the other day, and it showed a lot of the reasons certain, you know what I mean, like dirt poor and all that.
Oh, really?
It had like 10
Why is
different
dirt
things.
poor a thing?
Because people were.
Because dirt floors?
Yeah, dirt floors. Yeah,
Oh.
the people that didn't have a lot of money, they had dirt floors in their house instead of, you know, like wood or cement or whatever. So they said they were so poor, they were dirt poor.
Wow.
So that was like the level.
Guess I didn't, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a bunch of things like that me and Donna were both going, wow, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
stuff you just hear your whole life and you don't really think where it came from.
Now I'm starting to wonder how they built houses with dirt floors. How do they anchor it down? It's just you hope that the wind doesn't blow too hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean,
When
I'm
you're
sure
when
they
you're
have-
building it, it seems like it'd be hard to build with no real heavy base.
I'm sure they just have a solid, like, foundation. You know what I mean? Like for the walls. But you know, too, back then a lot of them were like log cabins and stuff. You know what I mean? So they're going to be built the way they're interlocked. You know what I mean? But yeah, it does seem like with the Kansas or winds like that are really bad. That
Yeah.
that houses, all of a sudden you come home and your house is like 3 feet
That's
further
interesting.
over
Yeah.
than it was.
2-1 count. Yeah, exactly. You're like, you have to change your address every couple months. 2-1 count, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. This one a fastball, swing and a miss for strike 2. And that comes against number 10, Alani Tarin, who had a double in the first inning. She's been quiet ever since then, but showed off the power a little bit then. Here's a strike 3 on a swing and a miss for out number 3. And Roswell able to add some more cushion to their lead. 8-4 they do. And that's going to bring up the bottom of the lineup for the Cavegirls, followed by the top of the lineup. Katrina Ortega, the 9-hole batter, will start things off, and then they start things back up at the top with Vianka Villa, Parris Weldon, and then Faith Rivera.
Yeah, well, you said when the other team scores, then we respond. So I guess this is when we find out right here.
That's our MO, baby.
Yeah. Of course, it'd have been nice if they scored 1 and then we scored like 2 or 3, but 3 just makes us score at least 4.
Mm-hmm.
So So have you been talking to some of your students about prom music? Because that's coming up real fast.
Yeah, actually, prom is next Saturday. The 27th, I believe, is the date.
28th?
28th, 27th?
Yeah, I believe it's 28th.
Okay, 28th.
Yeah,
And I have been
27th.
told, but one of the things that's interesting to me is when songs come back that were never really huge, like they were big and popular, but not like at a dance. And just the other night, we played Love by Keisha Cole, and like I've never once played that at a dance. And the way that it popped off, some reason, I mean, this is a song from probably, if I were to guess, like 2012, 2010. I mean, that doesn't sound like very long ago at all, at least to me, but it's been, what's that, 14 years ago or so?
And now it's big?
And it's big again. Yeah, and I mean, they knew every word. I'm like, how does this come back and that strong? I don't get it.
Yeah.
But that's going to be another, that was another highly requested song for prom, so it's going to be in rotation, no doubt. 1-1 count. Foul ball. And she's got the shin guard and the foot guard, and still, I mean, softballs can find their way for sure. They'll find where it hurts sometimes. 1-2 count. No outs. And the Cave Girls really want to do something here. If nothing else, score one run, get kind of something going before the final inning. So Ortega tonight so far has gone 0 for 2 with 2 fly balls to center field. Here it comes, a 1-2 count. This one a high fastball out of the zone for ball 2. 2-2 count. In game 1, Ortega had a solid game, 2 for 3 at the plate. So she has been valuable tonight for sure. Here's a nice play by the shortstop after
Really
a
nice play.
quick bobble. Caught it out of the air when she kind of bobbled it out of her glove and tossed it over.
And I think the only thing that saved her was that ball was hit so hard that it got on her in a second.
Yep.
And gave her time to make adjustments and still make a throw.
You know, it's funny because you always want to hit the ball hard, but sometimes it's like, gosh, dang it, if I would have just hit it a little less, you know what I mean?
A
Like,
little softer than I'd have beat
you can
it
never
out.
get it perfect. Yeah, exactly. All right, Vianka Villa up to bat.
Ooh, that's
The
a
nice
solid
slap
one.
line
Oh, my
drive.
gosh,
They
she was
were
in the
playing
right
her
spot.
shallow, and this time it pays off big time for the Cave Girls as she's going to get into third base. Oh, they're going to send her home. Can she get there? Oh, and that's definitely interference by the catcher way up the line. Didn't have the ball. That's if she catches that and places the out, I'm pretty sure she still gets home plate, right? I mean,
yeah, if
I mean, she was
obstruction-
clearly
if it's
in the way.
obstruction, Yeah, but my question is, why wouldn't they just leave her at third with one out? That run's not gonna, you know what I mean? If you get thrown out at
Yeah.
the plate, that's really a momentum breaker. But
That's true.
hey, it doesn't
worked
matter.
out.
Yeah, it worked out. We still down 3 runs, so Parris is gonna have to get it started.
She's
again.
got a home run on her night now. So Parris Weldon now up to bat, the second baseman for the Cave Girls. And she has 2 walks and a hit by pitch tonight. So she's reached base all 3 times in game 2. Hoping to do so here once again. 1-1 count. Gar,
See, that's another saying.
another saying. I like looking back at old stories about anything, baseball, softball, any sport, but like listening to some of the old school guys going, yeah, I used to, you know, smoke a cigar in the dugout or something, and it's just like, what? It's
Well,
crazy.
I still can't get behind. Of course, we did it most of my life, but how people would eat dinner in a restaurant and then pull out a cigarette and smoke it right there at the table.
That's
where
crazy.
Everybody in the restaurant could smell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough. Especially when you walk in already, it's a thick fog, like,
Yeah.
but you had no choice.
yeah. Or you could just leave.
Yeah, well, I guess you did have that choice, huh? All right, so first pitch is a strike to Rivera. A runner on first base. They've got lots of speed over at first base.
I feel like they're pitching Rivera a lot away, so I would either
Yeah.
let him walk me or go with that pitch. Well, she was going with it there. But
Yeah, she was. What's crazy to me about that last play by Vianka Villa get that inside the park home run is that they played her the exact same place that they played her the time before, and that should have been a single, but they stole that single from her, and right there, she hit it just short of them. She hit it hard, but it just came down just short of the center fielder and had literally the complete opposite effect.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy that they had her in that spot so shallow. You know what I
True.
mean?
I mean, if she hits it just a bit behind her, there's another home run too. So you really kind of open yourself up for lots of possibilities of disaster. The 1-2 count. One out. Faith Rivera up to bat with Kalion Fuentes on deck.
Yeah, if she can find a way to get on, it'd be nice to give her that chance to hit something solid and get some more runs in. 'Cause they've got a little ways to go.
All right, so Weldon takes second base, and she gets there safely. Quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there wasn't a hard call to be made over at second base had they caught that. She was in there pretty early. 3-2 count. This one fouled back once again, so 3-2 count. One out, runner in scoring position. And the Cavegirls just doing anything they can here to kind of scrape it together.
Nobody better.
All right, so here it is, the pitch. The payoff pitch does not pay off for the pitcher.
Yeah, she didn't go after that outside pitch, which made it good. Give another base runner.
Runners on first and second, one out, now up to bat. The most dangerous hitter in the lineup tonight. It can be, this is going to be a tough one for Roswell for sure. You got to think about it. What do we do here? We got runners on first and second, one out. The only batter tonight to hit a home run. She did it in a spot that they needed to, put some runs together in that first inning. What do you do here if you're Roswell?
I think all you can do is don't try to
just
pitch
challenge
around.
her?
No, don't try to pitch around her, but you don't give her anything inside part of the plate. You know what I mean? You got to make her hit it off the end of it. Well, remember the time she hit that triple, she went opposite field. I'd rather have her do that than to have her turn on something because she's definitely got the ability to turn on something and hit it
I was
hard.
going to say, all I'd tell my pitcher is keep it low,
Low and away.
keep it low. And there she didn't keep it low.
Well, that's the best place to hit it to, that center fielder that catches everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, shoot. Tough break there for Fuentes and the Cavegirls for out number 2. So Makayla Chester now up to bat. And I don't know kind of what the plan is there, kind of what they talk about, but sometimes you do get players that are going, okay, with one swing, I can do this, and you just start to almost overpress. I don't know, what the mentality is on that. But, man, I think I was almost in that position right there going, man, I just wanted to hit it out.
Well, my question is why aren't they having somebody run for their catcher? Either do they not have enough players in the dugout?
Maybe not.
Not run,
Maybe they don't trust enough runners
Yeah, I don't know.
out of the dugout.
Because I felt like the last time I came to watch a game, every time the pitcher or catcher would get on base, they would have somebody run for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not doing it. So they may be a little bit, maybe a couple of the players are hurt, you know what I mean, that they're not. But I don't know. I guess that's a question for Coach later on, the post-game interview.
3-0 count. Here comes the pitch. This one over the plate for strike one. So 3-1 count to Makayla Chester. She singled in her last at-bat. A single here would be huge for the Cavegirls. The 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Pitch high for ball 4, but that did look good.
High?
No, I mean, that's what the umpire thought. I'm just going off of what the call was, but yeah, that did look good.
You're saying what the umpire thought?
I guess,
thought
yeah.
it was right down the pipe, and
It did look good.
It
did look good.
I was really surprised they called that a
To
ball.
lean back like it was coming at your head is a smart move. I'll say that. You know, if you're going to try and milk it, you know, you got to kind of show it
Sometimes
off.
I feel like the umpires don't give you that. Like when you try to squat down.
No,
and get
I mean, they
below it.
don't. But in that case, they did, and it worked.
Okay, well, this is a big at-bat right here, too. With bases loaded, just a base hit. With the freshman up, she got a triple at one at-bat, so maybe we can get another solid hit.
High pitch, and they're going to try and back pick the Cavegirls. Doing that with Weldon over at third base is a scary thing, too, because she can just, as soon as she sees that ball release, she could probably take off and make it.
Well, that's why I don't understand. You're throwing behind the runners. It's like, you know what, get the batter. I mean, sure, it works.
You're trying to pick somebody off to get a
She throws it
catcher
to
off
right
guard.
field, though. What happens?
Oh, yeah.
All 3 runners
if
score.
she does, but if, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just
You just
saying,
never
because look
know.
where the right fielder is. She's not anywhere close to cover that.
Huge
Ooh,
hit
that might be
here
over the
for
fence.
Madrid. Can
That's
it go?
outta here.
That's a
That's a
big-time
grand-
hit
oh,
for
that's a
the
triple.
freshman, and that's going to clear the bases.
and put
3
them back in the
runs on a RBI double. Huge play for Madrid there. And, hey, we just wanted 1 run this inning. Madrid was like, nah, I got you for more.
No, that was definitely a solid hit. I thought for sure it
Wow.
was over the fence, but that was for that third.
I know you were starting to call the home run. I was like, whoa, slow it down.
Well, for that center fielder to catch everything out there, I'm surprised she didn't catch it. It was hit.
That's a
pretty
tough.
dang
That's a
solid.
tough play to make, though. Full sprint going backwards. That's tough. 0-1 count now to Hanna Hernandez, who can add an extra run of insurance with a base hit here. Madrid over at second base. What a huge hit for Madrid. You said she's a freshman. That is a big spot to be in as a freshman and to come up like you'd been there before.
That's Trey and Ty's sister.
Okay.
And AJ's, yeah. So she's got sports in the family for sure.
So a swing and a miss and a strike 3 on Hernandez ends the inning, but not before Allyson Madrid came up clutch there in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Cavegirls have a big task here. Can they stop Roswell from scoring here in the top of the 7th inning? If they do, they secure the win. We'll find out here shortly.
And
Guys,
to me, that's always the best way to do it, to get that lead before.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
You can do it defensively, then to have to try to do it in the bottom of the 7th. Of course, you liked it in the bottom of the 7th in Cruces, huh?
of course you do. You gotta hope.
However you can get it.
So, all right, guys, tonight, LA Services LLC sponsored the broadcast tonight. We appreciate them. Also sponsored by LA Safety and Consulting. So huge thanks to them. Obviously, we were not sure if we were going to do the softball broadcast this year. Put it out there, and right away, LA Services said, hey, we'll take them. And they're actually sponsoring both this doubleheader and the next doubleheader that we're going to be doing with the Cavegirls as well. So excited to do it. Love to come out to these games, and it's always a good atmosphere at the Cavegirl Field.
For sure.
We need to get the Cavegirl Field a name. You know what I mean? It needs to be named something. There's been so many legends that have played here, coached here, had success here. How many state championships are on the side of that wall? Probably 14?
Something like that. Yeah, there's quite a few.
I mean, somebody's got to have some kind of recognition, right?
Yes, for sure.
Or even just name it something kind of cool, like the Cavern Field or Caverns. I don't know. That was probably bad. That wasn't very good. Put a name in the comment section, folks. Let us know, what should they name the Cavegirl Field if they had to name it something. We'd love to hear it. LA Services LLC has full transportation services anywhere you want to go, 24/7. Call them at 575-725-5090.
Alexia Carrasco.
All right, guys. Top of the 7th inning, big one here. First pitch is a fastball First strike one.
How about Field of Champions on the campus of Carlsbad High? Too long?
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, pitch number 2. And Kalion Fuentes just going right at the batter here. The 8-hole batter, number 1, Alexia Carrasco. She singled in her last at-bat. So Fuentes gets her sign. The wind-up, the pitch, another what looked like to be a fastball. It was a good changeup that was just came out really
Fast.
late. Because in Cavegirls, or in
that's a rise
softball,
ball.
oh, maybe. But in softball, you hold on too long, it goes high. In baseball, you hold on too long, it goes low. So right there, just held on a bit too long. Here it comes, a 1-2 count. This one makes it a 2-2 count. I think the thing is wrong, right?
Yeah,
it's 2-2.
It's 2-2.
Okay, she just indicated that. The umpire did. They just don't have it on the scoreboard. Kalion Fuentes pitching for the Cavegirls. Big pitch here. Fastball, fouled straight back. Makes it 2-2.
If it wasn't 2-2 before, it's 2-2 again.
Definitely is.
Hey, shut her down, babe, right here.
So 1 for 3 on the night is Alexia Carrasco. Or at least on game 2. Here comes the pitch. This one. Nice changeup. Had her fooled out of her shoes for a strikeout to start off the inning. So a third of the way there, the Cavegirls now bring up number 7, Mireya Patino, the 9th batter in the lineup. She has been completely patrolling the outfield for the Coyotes. Made some big plays. At what point do you think in temperature that it is too cold for a snow cone? I want to know that. Here comes a big pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss.
Well, to me, I think it's depends on where you're going to eat it. Because to me, if you're inside, then it's okay. You know what I mean? I don't care if it's snowing outside. But if you're outside eating it, yeah, I think if it's, I don't know.
What's the degree? What's the temperature?
45 degrees.
Okay.
45 degrees for me.
Wow.
What about
That's
you?
pretty low. I think under 60, I'm not going to eat a snow cone.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even from Bahama Bucks, huh? I
Nah.
think I've seen you eat a snow cone.
Not
from
outside. Not outside. 1-2 count with 1 out. Fuentes wants to put her away here. Can she do it? I'm going to say a fastball high here. That's going to be my guess. And I'm going to say it kind of low with my hand over my mouth so that the batter doesn't hear
Yeah, you
what
don't
my
want-
guess is.
Or the coaches to give her
Here we
signals.
go. And a swing and a miss. Fastball high, baby. Woo!
Then you could be a pitching coach.
Well, she's actually looking back. She takes them from the dugout, and then she looks at me to confirm if it's right or not. So, just kidding. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts.
You're saying it loud enough so she can hear you. But the
Number
bat-
12,
but the batter can't.
Yadira Aragon now up to bat. The Roswell leadoff batter.
Another thing I was wondering, what year do you think they started using the masks on the batting helmets? You know what I mean? That hasn't been that long either.
I want to say
Probably
that was about when
maybe
I was
15
here.
years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because it
And
really
there's
hasn't been
strike
that long.
2, 0-2 count here. Fuentes here in Aragon down to the Coyotes' last strike.
Change
Possibly.
Up. I'm saying change up because she's swinging at it.
Change
out
up
of her
down
feet.
and away, huh?
Well, that's
That's what
where
I'm
you're
thinking.
supposed to throw it. but-
Turn it a little bit. Ooh, good pitch, good idea. Not a bad location, especially with an 0-2 count. Can see what some batters are just looking to try and get some the bat on the ball a little bit, and they miss that kind of pitch. I like that pitch right there in that situation. Kalion Fuentes trying to shut the door. Lock it up. The Cavegirls take 2. And that's going to do it, folks. The Cavegirls found a... Oh, no. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's it. Isn't it?
No, they say it says 8-8 on the scoreboard. I
it's
thought it was
8-8.
9-8. What happened here?
I think they had 9-8, and then they switched it back. I think, yeah, because I saw 9-8 earlier.
Okay.
So it's the bottom of the 7th. So, hey, it's going to be like we said. We need a walk-off score to win the game.
So Kalion Fuentes, I mean, you got to do something big here, right? Kalion Fuentes came in to the 7th inning. Tie ball game, went 1, 2, 3, strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. I mean,
So
you got to reward her with something here.
Who's coming up?
Now-
7, 8, 9?
Up to bat for the Cavegirls is going to be 8-9-1. Karis Hernandez, Katrina Ortega, and then Vianka Villa. So Karis Hernandez 0 for 3, Katrina Ortega 0 for 3. So this could be their moment to go in there and hey, we got to put a hit on our stat sheet. No better time than this.
D-U-E do, not D-E-W do.
I don't know.
They're both due, so we'll see what they do. D-O.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
To the listeners? Well, she's done well, though, in this doubleheader. I think she's gotten 2 or 3 hits, so I think she'll be okay. This is when all the parents and people in the stands coach them.
This is when we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got who should win. Who should have, let me turn up the sound a little bit. When we asked who should they name the field after, somebody said after Coach Tiger. Annalisa Carrasco said Coach Tiger. I don't think that'd be a bad option because he had how many championships? Probably like 4, 5?
Oh, no, he had like 8.
Really?
Yeah, well,
how do you not already do that?
Well, he had 3 with Donna.
Oh, my
So,
gosh.
I mean, that's
How do you not just I mean, that shouldn't even be a question. That's wild. I don't know. That's just me. All right, folks. Yes, game 1, Cavegirls took the game. I think the final score was 8-3. If I'm not 9-3.
Yeah, 9-3. That's what it was. 9-3.
And here in game 2 with a 1-2 count, no outs, the game is tied up 8-8. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Karis Hernandez here in a big roll. This one a fastball way low. 2-2 count. She steps back into the box.
There's a huge out for the pitcher to get. Start the inning.
Here's a foul ball over the opposing team's dugout. 2-2 count. No outs, nobody on. Karis Hernandez in the 8th spot tonight for the Cavegirls. She loads up, gets ready for it. Lets this one go, good choice. Makes it a full count. Big moment here for the junior. She steps in, gets ready. The pitch, a low fastball for a base on balls, and a good start to the inning for the Cavegirls, bringing up Katrina Ortega.
That's the leadoff batter mentality right there. Get on base any way you can,
That's right.
and that's what she did.
Take pitches when you need to take pitches. And
I'd say bunt her over. What do you think?
this is a big time. Guys, if you're watching right now, tag somebody in. This is huge.
Nice bunt.
Bunt placed perfectly, or placed really nicely right there in front of the base.
I mean, I guess you wanted a little further just so they have to move more, but it was nice. It was.
You're
nice
right. You do want them to maybe move, maybe have some kind of miscommunication in the middle, but if you put something down like that, it does also add a little bit of extra difficulty for the catcher to make that throw. You know what I mean? So I'll take what we can get. The runner's moved over.
Yeah, I was going to say
runner on second base.
The bottom line is you're just trying to get the runner in scoring position.
Yeah.
And let the other 2 batters get them in. So
great job by Katrina Ortega.
And top of the order right here.
Here comes the pitch. Just want a fastball away.
A little bit
for
high.
ball 1. So 1-1 count, 1 out. Vianka Villa. She had an inside the park home run in her last AB.
And
a hard hit ball too. And into the outfield. Here's a nice bunt.
That's
the bunt you wanted right there.
Right there.
And that's the second time she's bunted tonight for a base hit. Vianka Villa on fire tonight.
That's one thing. If you got speed and you're batting left-handed and they're not expecting it, those are like all the elements to throw one down.
Yes.
And that's what she did.
All right, so let's recap real quick and a little appreciation for Vianka Villa tonight. Hit by a pitch in her first AB, then a bunt single, flew out to center. Here comes a pitch up high for ball one to Parris Weldon. Then in the 6th inning, she had an inside the park home run and just now an infield single with the bunt. I mean, she knows how to get on base here in this game. There's no doubt. Hard hit ball by Parris Weldon. This one is off the wall, and that's going to be it. A walk-off double for Parris Weldon, and there we go. The Cavegirls take it. Parris Weldon with the walk-off hit for the Cavegirls, and they get the sweep against Roswell. 4-0 now in district for the Cavegirls. Huge play there, and a great finish to a game that was pretty tough all throughout tonight. So, Ruben, thanks for being on. We want to thank LA Services LLC and LA Safety and Consulting for sponsoring both of the games of the doubleheader. A big shout out to Red Rocket Media and Aaron up doing his thing for us, producing the show, producing the broadcast. Of course, All Sports Best. If you guys are interested in some merch, we got some new stuff. Go on over to allsportsbest.com and click the merch tab to buy yourself a shirt.